So we have a couple of questions here on polygons and finding angles within polygons. I'm just going to flick through this document and we can just dip in and out and do a couple of these questions, chat through them, and hopefully it'll make it a wee bit clearer. So to start with, we've got a regular 5-sided polygon. We want to work out the value of x. First thing you need to spot is that x, is the interior angle. Because it's regular, it's actually easier to find the exterior first. So you may do 360 divided by the number of sides, which is 5. You would then get that that is equal to 72 degrees. So the exterior angle is 72 degrees, and then the interior angle would be 180 minus the 72, which would be 108 degrees. Now, alternatively, what you could have done is you could have worked out what the sum of the interior angles was in there, but then that might just be a wee bit more complicated. Certainly the numbers were a lot easier to do 360 divided by 5 and then take that away from 180 to get our 108. Okay, this one then you are actually given the exterior angle. Okay, so that's a bit different. So you get the exterior angle. So in this case, you would simply just do the exterior angle is 360 divided by the number of sides, which is 6, and then we can do that because it's regular, and that would just get you 60 degrees. At that point, you don't have to do the other bit. You can simply just stop, and the reason that you can stop is because you're finding the exterior angle. Okay, if we just scroll down, we will have just a quick look at this one. So in this one, you're told that you've got 4 angles from a pentagon. Okay, you can see there that it is not regular, but what we want to do is we want to find the size of the 5th angle. So first thing I would do is I would add up the angles that we have. Okay, so you're looking at doing 84, 127, 114, and 97. If you throw them all into your calculator, you should get 422 degrees. So that's what the 4 angles together add up to. We want to know what the 5 angles must add up to. Okay, so the angles in a pentagon is going to be, so we'll call that the sum of I. So the sum of the interior is going to be the 3. That's the 5 take away 2. So 5 sides, so 3 triangles. 3 multiplied by 180, which is 540 degrees. Okay, if we call this then angle x, that must mean that x is equal to 540 take away 422, so x is going to come out at 118 degrees. Okay, so the easiest way to do that one is to find the total of the angles that you do have, find the total size of all of the angles, and then because you've got 4 of them, you just need to find the 5th. You can just find then the difference between those 2 numbers, and that's the easier way to do it. Now, you don't always have to be given a shape. So in this question, you're just given words. Okay, so you're asked to work out the size of each exterior angle of a regular polygon with 15 sides. So you should know that the exterior angle is simply 360 divided by the number of sides, which is 15. So in that case, then it's 24 degrees. So very straightforward sum, but you weren't given a diagram there. And in fact, you didn't really need a diagram. Now the next one is a wee bit trickier, and something maybe you would be more likely to see kind of when they throw this all together into a GCSE question. So first, it's just the same question again. That's the one that we just did. So that is 360 divided by 15. So that's our 24 degrees. So that one's fine. But it's this one I kind of want to think about just a wee bit more. So it says here the diagram shows 3 identical regular pentagons. Okay, so those pentagons are all regular, which means all the angles inside them are the same. Earlier on, we did work out what the sum of those interior angles was. Okay, so if you can recall that, in a pentagon, okay, so in a pentagon, the sum of the interior angles, if you remember, was 3 times 180, which is equal to 540. So then in here you've got I, and I. Okay, they're all the same. So because it is regular, that means that I is going to be 540 divided by 5, which you should be able to do in your head to get 108 degrees. Okay, so they're all equal to 108 degrees. You should see here, okay, because these angles meet at a point, all of those angles together will add up to 360. Okay, which means you need to take the 108, you need to times it by 3, because you can see that there's 3 of those. So if you do that times 3, you get 324 degrees. Then to get y, you're going to do y is equal to 360 minus the 324, and that's going to get you what's left over, and for us then that's going to be 36 degrees. So just to recap on that, the first thing is to notice that there are 3 identical regular pentagons. Okay, so there's 5 sides, and the sum of the interior angles on each of them is going to be 540. That means each of the interior angles is going to be 108, which we found down here. We know that there's 3 of them, which is why we multiply it by 3, and then we take the 3 of them together away from 360, and that's because all the angles meet at a point, and then we're left with 36 degrees as our final answer for the size of y.